Wholeness, welcome to Notes of Nada. This is Naja Rashida here, and may this message find you well and whole. Um, Unlike the last video, this probably won't be too long, I hope not. So we're going to discuss soul faith, how the spirit of doubt aids your faith. Now, I have been struggling with the word faith for a while. I've been struggling with faith for quite some time, and not in the sense of I lack faith in the higher power or a God or source or spirit. No, it's more of, excuse me, what is faith to me? How do I access faith within myself? Where is it in my life? And I will have to say, the moments I really needed to have faith, faith was present. The faith in me somehow was unlocked and open to receive. And that is key. When you open yourself, that is how faith can work through you and flow through you. Doubt is when you close yourself off out of fear, right? And so when faith meets doubt and when doubt meets fear, there's a clash. And I have this saying called, feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the anxiety and do it anyway. Feel the depression and do it anyway. Feel the anger and do it anyway. Feel whatever you're meant to feel at that moment and do what you must do, what you're guided to do, what you're called to do anyway. And no, I'm not saying ignore your intuition. If your intuition says don't go down that flight of stairs, listen to your intuition. If your intuition says, hey, don't go in that direction down that dark alleyway, don't do that. No, no, no. Faith is an opening. One of my favorite surahs from the Quran is called Al-Fatiha, the opening. Powerful surah. The opening of faith to the all. I love it. And then in Arabic, in Arabi, the word for God, Allah, it has A-L-L in it, all. Opening to Allah, to the all. It's beautiful. So, spirit of doubt is very strong. Spirit of doubt aids your faith because it tests your faith. It tests how open you truly are to all that is. Doubt is meant to solidify and fortify your faith. It is not meant to do you harm, truly. To feel doubt actually is a good thing. It means you're on some kind of path. Not all uncomfortable feelings and negative feelings are bad. Sometimes they're pointing you in the right direction to keep going, no matter what. All right, I'll be transparent. So, I'm very much in the middle of my teaching career. Semester 1 went well. Semester 2 is just starting, grad school. Awesome. I feel blessed. I feel grateful for a full-time job. I can sustain myself. But then I mentioned before, I have a very creative part of my life that is just, it needs air. She wants to be expressed. And so as you can see, I have artwork. Okay? I got tons of art. All right, see all that? Boom. Oh, there's my cello. That's Clarinda. Yes, I name my instruments. I know it's really cheesy. And that's one of my harps. And then I got Taka. It's a Takamine. That was gifted to me. She's banged up. Anywho, so I have a lot of art. I'm a creative person. Very artistic. Can't help it. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. They both contributed to my artistic self in their own way. My mom, she exposed us to the art world very, very young. And truly, it was just amazing and magical, and I just felt like, oh gosh, I love museums, man. My mom would take us. She would literally take her two daughters at the time, before my little brother, years before my little brother was born. And she would take us on her trips, and she would take us to the museums and art world. And my stepfather was an opera singer, and it's just, we lived in a very beautiful and just very rich upbringing. And then my father, in my later parts of my childhood, my teen years, he supported every musical facet that I went after, every rehearsal. Even my mama and my dad would pull their little monies together to get my teachers, my cello teachers, my vocal coaches and stuff, and just supported me in the best way that they knew how. They're very proud of me, and they let me know that. And no, I'm not going to go into all that was imperfect with my parents, but just very blessed, right? When I think back into my creative pursuits. But one big thing that I feel that I was missing when I struck out on my own, when I left home for the first time at 18 into college, was faith. And I had my first major spiritual awakening, right? Meaning I was opening to my soul, right? I was truly opening to consciousness. And that could be some scary shit, okay? Like, yo, there's a reason I'm very, what do they call it? People who don't drink or do drugs and stuff. I just, and mind you, I had my party phase. I did. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I was so goody two shoes. I wasn't, right? I had fun, but there was a part of me that just, in the middle of my spiritual awakening back in 2008, yeah, it was 2008, 2009, man, if anything, sometimes spiritual awakenings can make you question your sanity. And that moment it was that major for me. And I wasn't doing any drugs. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't, doing any heavy partying at that time. But anywho, besides that, I had a lot of faith in what was happening. I was trusting the process. But I lacked faith in my music. I lacked faith in my art. Now, and it's something I've been struggling with because I always really equate it to, I have to work to keep these lights on. I gotta work to put food in my stomach, to put gas in my car, right? I have to survive. But now it's like I want to pursue my art and my music. And I have the spirit of doubt, like, oh, I've aged out, right? I'm 36 now. And in the opera world, actually, to be quite honest with you, in the world of opera, you're in your prime in your 30s, to be honest. You truly are. Your voice isn't fully mature until like you're probably in your late 20s. By your 30s, especially if a woman pops out a couple of kids, her voice changes permanently because of hormone fluctuation and stuff like that. But women in singing and men in the classical world, they can have very long careers for a long time. And then like your voice starts wobbling, the ooh, you gotta retire, become a vocal coach, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I don't regret my life paths or my decisions to get into the medical field at all, but it's just, I'm scared. I feel doubtful of how far can I go with this, how far can I go with playing, my instruments and which I needed to, ooh, okay, I gotta tune that. But how far can I go? Like, is anybody gonna believe in this? And the most important thing about an artist that I'm learning about archetypes right now when I'm reading Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss, is that the artist must have unwavering faith in themselves and in their art and what they're creating. No matter what, if this sells for 2 pennies or $2,000, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm missing that element of the possible. What could be possible? And so right now, and I had a good thing going back in 2021, before I entered into a relationship. I literally had a groove going, with my music on my music channel. But faith, you know, it's gonna that's one of a soul key of mine that I want to really kind of re-explore that and what that means to me. Even in my spiritual gifts that I have, I don't have a spiritual teacher or guru or some medium or psychic that's teaching me how to do and how to read and how to do this and how to do that. You know what I'm saying? It really is like you're relying on being open and having complete faith in that openness. Al-Fatiha. Opening. Because you can have 1,000 people tell you, go ahead, go for your dreams. Right? Go for the gold. And, but they're not always there to catch you when you fall, though. Or when your art pen runs out of ink. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I struggle with. Doubt. And as far as the teaching career goes, oh man, God, oh jeez. It's a systemic issue. It's a systemic issue. It is what you make it. It's what you make it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to service jobs in society right now, like in medicine and education, it is what you make it. Meaning, master the skills that you need to do the job. Well, make sure you're passionate about what you're doing, but number two, make sure that you master the skills to do your job well, and then that's all you can do, because you will lose yourself if you try to make any changes. You'll break. You end up getting sick. Your spirit will be crushed. Okay. Trying to go in and try to rebuild a very, very broken system that I think is intentionally being broken into little itty bitty pieces, and that's creating increasingly and alarmingly, like it's causing such a divide in the U.S. From what I'm seeing. So with my teaching, all I can do, I don't have doubts in my own teaching. I'm pretty solid on that. And right now I'm just trying to figure out, how to master the skills to do the job well. Because I love the kids and I love working with people and I love instructing and teaching. I like it a lot. But gee, Willikers. Yeah, I'm good with the teaching thing. It's just my creative pursuits. I'm like, what do I do? Because people steal your stuff. I have a lot of fear, and I'm actively working on that. Right now I'm in the middle of having to change my name because I gave away my LLC name. Originally, it was called Silver Tree, and then someone wanted to buy it because they wanted what, $5,000 for me to put into this. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to invest more than I need to in something I don't know enough about. So I'm going to reach out to people. There's a program where I live where they're helping potential small business owners set up their business. I just want to do it the right way. And so I don't really, I mean, I did have an attachment to Silver Tree, but not to the extent of like I don't want to continue to invest in something that I'm not knowledgeable enough about. You know what I'm saying? And so I do have faith that I will be guided in the right direction when it comes to building my brand and building my world, my creative, going after my creative pursuits. So it's scary. Oh, it's a one woman show. But it's like, okay, how do I develop deeper faith in my art and my music and what I can create? And it's number one, the biggest step is by doing it and breathing it and eating it. And then next step is sharing it. But I really want to make sure that I'm protecting what I'm creating, because it's crazy out in these digital streets, man. People will be like, nope, that's mine. That's mine. It's like, you didn't create it. It's mine anyway, you know? So yeah, that's just something personal I wanted to share. Like, it's for the artists in the digital age, it's getting a little tricky, you know? So all I can do is make sure that I publish my work, that I copyright my work, that I, really solidify my brand. And that takes money, that takes power, that takes, time, energy, investment to make sure that I'm protecting what's so very close to me and close to my heart. And so having enough faith to back that up it's a little tricky right now, but I'm doing it. I'm getting through it. So I'm feeling the fear and the doubt and the anxiety about it, and I'm doing it anyway. Because I like doing this. Truly, it's, it started off with, I started art and drawing back in 2015. So, a decade ago. And with oil pastels and color, and then I found myself doodling a lot during downtime when I worked at hospital, and then it just started turning into more intricate designs, and I'll get into the why I use black and white, but and also I wanted something very easy to travel with as well, because markers and pens are much easier to travel with, because I was traveling all over. I mean, I wasn't staying in one resident. I was all over the place. And it wasn't like I was going all over the place every 2-3 months, but it wasn't very stable. I didn't want to have wet, media I had to worry about, But that's what I wanted to share with you all about faith, and use the spirit of doubt as confirmation. When it bubbles up, it doesn't feel good. Because it's like, yeah, I can do it, yeah. And then spirit's like, can you? Are you sure? Are you positive? Do you really think that you can do it? I have such a big head. Oh gosh. Anyway, I think that's all I have to share in this video, so take care.